In the small and beautiful town of Riverfall, winter has always been a time of joy and family togetherness. Everything here was imbued with the holiday spirit. There was a Christmas tree in the main square and garlands in the windows of the houses. It was a typical American town where everyone knew each other. This winter, however, something was different. One day the snowfall was particularly heavy. Snowflakes swirled in the air like a Christmas card. The children were happy about the snow and ran out into the main square. They laughed loudly, had snowball fights, and made snowmen. Someone suggested making one huge snowman in the center of the square. Everyone liked the idea, and soon the children were working together to make 3 impressive snowballs. One of the girls, 12-year-old Susie, suggested something unusual. "Why don't we make him scary? Let him guard our square." The girl's eyes glistened with excitement. Exactly. Tommy, the local tomboy, backed her up. "Let's give him a knife in one hand and a rope in the other, as if he were dangerous." The kids loved the idea. Someone ran home and brought an old kitchen knife with a blunt blade, and the rope was found in the garage of one of the parents. Putting these items into the snowman's hands, they laughed loudly at their creation. The snowman's eyes were made of coal, his nose of carrots, and the mouth was made of small stones, which gave his face a sinister grin. "Now no one will dare to hurt us," said Tommy, looking proudly at the snowman. In the evening, when the children went home, a lone snowman with a knife in one hand and a rope in the other remained near the square. The next morning, people gathered in the square and saw a terrible picture. At the foot of the snowman was the local janitor, Mr. Miller. The kitchen knife that the children had inserted into the snowman's arm yesterday was now sticking out of his chest. The police quickly cordoned off the area. Sheriff Jackson was trying to figure out what had happened here. "Someone must have put it there," he said grimly. "Ask the kids who made that snowman." However, the children knew nothing. They all said the same thing. The knife was blunt. The snowman had been standing all night. No one had seen Mr. Miller in the square. The next day, the city was again shaken by the news. In the morning, a man was found hanging from a tree near the square. It was a local homeless man named Jimmy. The rope that had been in the snowman's hand yesterday now encompassed his neck, and the snowman stood empty-handed. Fear now gripped the whole town. No one could explain how this had happened. Those who had laughed at the creepy toy just yesterday were now recoiling from it. "We're dealing with a serial killer," Sheriff Jackson announced. "The knife and rope incident is no coincidence. This is a cold and carefully planned crime." The townspeople looked on in horror, and the children whispered that the snowman must have come to life. With each passing day, the tension in the town grew. The local council decided to remove the snowman to stop the chain of deaths. No one wanted to go near it, so that day, the snowman was destroyed by the same children who had built it. Susie and Tommy went up first. The snowballs hit the snowman's head, shattering it into pieces. The rest of the children followed suit. In a few minutes, all that was left of the snowman was a pile of snow. The next morning, the town woke up to new and terrible news. The town's mayor, Robert Hastings, was found dead in his office. His neck was broken, and there were pieces of melted snow on the floor.